Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, and former mortician's assistant. Beware, beware. That might not be a phone jingling in your pocket. Join the Nevermorians for morning mischief and madness at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Your sense of humor is the only thing you need to wear.
Good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? What is that? Man, I gotta get that camera soon. I think it's my camera now rather than me. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to the June 22nd, 2020 edition of Nevermind the Furthermore. I'm Brian K. Morris, as you've no doubt guessed from the introduction. And I got, man, that's sloppy work on that bow tie, Brian. Man, how fast did you dress yourself today? Heavens. Anyway, it's been one of those mornings, but it's been a good one. Gotten a lot of stuff done. And anyway, we got the cool people showing up. Nick Tockard, glad to see you here as always. Good morning, Amy Hale. Mwah. Good morning, Charles F. Millhouse. Good to see you. Carly, mwah, watching us on YouTube. Glad to see you. Eric Hawkins, as always, sir. Pleasure. Nick Tockard. Good morning, Nevermorians. Here's hoping you are well. Hoping the same for you, my friend. And Sarah, hello. On a conference call, but I'll be participating soon. Mwah. Looking forward to it, sweetie. It's so good to have you here. And Carl Witzman, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. And Joe McKeel, a pleasure, sir. Hope you're all having a great morning so far. I have kafefe. I'm glad. I'm happy I might make it today. Anyway, hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I had a productive one, got some editing done, including, I've got to say, she's not here yet. We will announce it later, but make sure I get that time right. 9 p.m. Thursday evenings. You got to watch it. It is a lot of fun. Eric Hawkins, good luck. Morning, looking for a new cam. I've been looking for months. Yeah, I noticed I've been, of course, my local Best Buy is all boarded up. But then again, we had some protests, not to diss the regular protesters. We had the people who were taking advantage of the protests and trying to break in. My understanding is here at our local Best Buy, may wind up ordering one online. But yeah, I think my camera is probably on my laptop here, seen better days. But anyway, we want to take some of that tip jar money that you've been generously sending us. Thank you all very much. And getting a couple of cameras, actually, because I want to play around with some stuff here, multiple angles and all that stuff. But anyway, we've been pricing some out. Found a couple I like, and you don't have to spend a lot to get a decent camera, but just the same, I would like something different. And let's see, Nevermorian Nation is going strong. Charles F. Millhouse, you know that, brother. And don't forget, Nevermorians tomorrow night. If you love Charles F. Millhouse, and you should, like they say in Doctor Who, then you need to tune in tomorrow night to Clever Title Pending at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central, where I will not only be joined by Mr. Millhouse himself, the author of the Captain Hawkins series and Absolution and some many, many great books. We'll also be joined by Bobby Nash, hashtag the Summer of Snow. It's still the Summer of Snow. So please check out the works of Bobby Nash at bobbynash.com or at ben-books.com. He's got a lot of stuff. And anyway, the three of us are just going to have a little informal chat, but we welcome your questions, of course. What other book did you edit, and was it spectacular? It was better. It was spectacular, and it was real, to quote Terry Hatcher from Seinfeld. But no, I also edited the Zombiful World of Oz, and Eric is prompting me for a public statement on it, I can tell. I have to say that as much as I love the first issue, the second issue is even stronger. It is really, really great. And if you have pledged to this book, you are gonna be blown away. It is. I'm not saying this just because he's here. I'd probably be more effusive, but anyway, no, seriously, it is a fantastic book. Eric did such a wonderful job on the writing and the art, and even the progression is both the writer and the artist sides of him from the first book to the current book are noticeable and spectacular. So definitely check that out. You will be so pleased when you see it. And good morning, Nevermorians from Rick Bradley. Rick, a pleasure as always. Rob Anderson. I should be. What am I doing? I am like, hold on here. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, all. Hello, people. Why am I doing this? I should make you guys do the work. And I have two Brians talking. Needed to mute Facebook. Okay, cool. Yeah, one of me is more than enough. And let's see. And Carly and hello, folks. See, you're getting on the air. Looking for a new cam. Looking for months. I found one that I think Sean Hilton's using a rather nice one. And yes, we are going strong, my friend. What other book do you? And yes, it was spectacular. It was awesome, and it was even yours. Yes, it was spectacular. It was awesome. It was Teresa Dunn's new book. Anyway, Rob Anderson has a link to my stuff. Thank you, Rob, and enjoying the conversation on our line this morning. It's about Terraform Comics. Terraform Comics is we're not going to go on record as saying like we are the next Marvel, we're the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, we're just a bunch of people, a bunch of friends who are looking to put out some really terrific comics, stuff we want to read, and we hope you will too. All right. Nothing fancy. Carl Witzman, does StreamYard on your computer allow multiple cameras, or do you need to get a capture card? I've thought about it too. I've got to ask Sean Hilton about, because he uses StreamYard for his Wednesday and Saturday night sales shows, because he was asking me questions about it. And I have seen where you can, other people, it's after you use this for a while, you can almost tell who's using OBS and who's using StreamYard. OBS gives you a lot more in the ways of producing the show, but StreamYard is considerably simpler, is the thing I could say about it. So I've got to look up how to do it, but I know he has a. If you've seen any of his shows, Carl, in fact, you can go back and look on my page because I do try to share his show. He's got two cameras, Sean does, and one's a wide shot of him and his friend, whoever might be sitting and selling the books, as well as a panoramic view of the books. And he also has another camera that's set up right in front of him, where it's a close-up cam, so you can get a good look. And it's more or less an insert. This one serves as an insert to the overall picture, the main picture. But I have seen other people that I'm sure they're using StreamYard, and it's, you have a head-on view, and then they have a camera that's off to one side, so you get like a 3/4 view of the person just for visual variety. But I've got to look that up too. So I would be interested in the answer as well. And more people are coming in. And Carl and Carly, hello, Brian. Hello, darling. And Joe Bachman, hello to you, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Another fine day of working on I-94 today. Well, give I-94 my love. And this is my Empire Strikes Back, says Eric Hawkins. Seriously, it is your Empire Strikes Back. It's your Superman 2 without the loose ends. It is seriously, you did a great job, buddy. You seriously did. So looking forward to seeing that in print. And Michaela Jade, well, hello, handsome. Well, hello, Michaela. I pray you were talking to me, beautiful. Anyway, Charles F. Millhouse says, speaking of Absolution, it is nominated for a Utopia Award for Dystopian Sci-Fi Novel of the Year. Please go and vote. Also, Michaela Jade has, not to steal anything away from Charles, because I did vote on him. I did vote on his book, and I voted for it, too. But Michaela Jade has Best New Book of the Year, I believe it is, for Warrior Secret. So please take care of our Nevermorians. Please go to that website and spread some voting love. David Atkins, good morning, David. And any artists or more who would be interested, contact Dan Johnson, where we have our second recipient already picked, and will be work to finish this week. What are we talking about, David? Also, what is it? Charles F. Millhouse, I think, is still looking for artists too. So if anyone has some drawing chops, there's a couple places you can get your stuff printed. So, and people saying hello. Carly saying hi to Sarah, and I'm watching. I get to watch. And hello, Carly. I'm providing the voices. Boom, chicka, wow, wow. Eric Hawkins says, don't wait, back now. If you missed the Kickstarter, it's going to print this week. Definitely. Hey, Eric, I meant to ask you. I did some pricing on the the bookmarks that we had discussed last week, and I found like a $45 shipping fee. I'm like, holy cats! I can get a box of Volcana for almost half that. So I need to ask you about that postage thing. It's some swag. By the way, my first real swag is coming this week, and when it shows up, and it'll probably be Friday afternoon, so we'll show it off on Monday morning 1 week from today. But we got our first swag, and we got some cool stuff coming up. And Sarah Carl is now the king of getting people in a live group by the surprise of unsuspecting friends. Good times. Yes, Carl had, as you know, those of you who are on Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group, the page here on Facebook, which you can join if you ask and you're not easily offended. So anyway, Carl is testing the Facebook room feature, I believe it was, and invited several of us there. Of course, I knew what was going on. Because I've been doing Zoom and I've been, of course, doing StreamYard and OBS and all this. So he did not catch me unaware. In fact, I told him, I got to go put on a shirt because I knew the ladies would be there, and they're only human. You know what I'm saying? Once you look at the buffet and see the man candy waiting at the end, you're going to skip the entree and go straight to dessert. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, baby. You know what I'm talking about. Boom, chicka, wow, wow. And so I decided to get somewhat dressed before I came on. But it was a fun time because there were about 8 or 9 of us there, I think, at one point. People checking it out, and a couple people were caught unawares entering the place, like Teresa and Sarah. It was quite fun. Anyway, we did have a good time. David Atkins, have 3 more images to finish that I started last night. Love doing pulp and pop art. I'm such a fan. If I keep going for Frank Frazetta, may not be unreachable. Yeah, if you get a good shovel and pick, you can reach Frank Frazetta right now. But anyway, Carl Witzman, I have seen Sean's sales show. That's why I was wondering. I want to have 2 cameras live, but not at the same time. I think I need to get a capture card for that. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right. That we may. I'll talk. I'm probably going to see Sean later this week. I will try to remember to talk to him about that. Of course, he's highly approachable, and you can probably ask him yourself and tell me then, because you're my guru. And speaking of people I worship, there's Meredith Logren. Good morning to you. Mwah! She says, good morning, Nevermorians. And I say, good morning to you, my giantess. How are you today? And yes, didn't you love my little video trap? I did. I had a good time. I especially like traps I don't fall into. Because remember, as Doctor Who says, there's one thing you never put into a trap. Me. Anyway, Eric Hawkins, don't forget how great your pages in the story are looking. That's true. I was going to be humble for a moment and not mention them, really. But yeah, Eric is currently finishing up the last 4 pages of the story, which are not the main story. The main story is beautifully done. I'm really excited by seeing it. But he's also adding, as part of one of the stretch goals, a 4-page insert written by me, and it covers Dorothy Gale's years in the sanitarium, where she's cured of all those delusions of emerald cities and flying monkeys. And it was a lot of fun to write. It was a pretty dark story, I thought. But it's kind of funny. I always get gratified when I tap into my dark side. So anyway, it was a lot of fun to write. And I'm looking at Eric's art for it, and I'm like, oh, I want to work with this man forever. He is so awesome. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a great, great, great book. You are going to be so happy when you finally get your copy. I'll be happy when I get mine. And Eric and Lacey Lemke, good morning to you. Mwah. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you, sweetie. Hey, I miss you. That's the one thing I miss about not doing shows. I'm finding I'm not missing the shows themselves as much as I thought I would, although I've had to skip several that, were really close to my heart. But I'm missing my family. I'm missing my con friends, and it's like, good luck social distancing when we finally get together. We're gonna be like iron filings on a lodestone, I suspect. There's just gonna be just this great big hugging lump of us. And Sarah says, yes, I enjoyed it, even though my AC sounds like a buzzsaw that all can hear. Yeah, every time. In Sarah's room, she has a window air conditioner, and every time the condenser would kick on, you zing, like a like a buzzsaw is starting up, and we're all like, "What the hell is that?" We went from calm Charleston urban home to suddenly the setting of The Perils of Pauline. And Meredith Logman, hello to my YouTube friends, Carl, Sarah, David, Michaela, and Donna. Yes, we love you all on YouTube, and loving YouTube more and more for what it offers us. And one of these times, I am going to do like a special show, but we're going to probably base it only on YouTube and leave Facebook out of the equation. That's what you get for screwing up my OBS dreams, Facebook. But when we do, we will announce it. We will give a link, and y'all can join us. And Dave Reniger, haven't talked to you forever. Good morning. Good morning to you, Dave. Hope you are doing well, my friend. And Tyrone Tony Reed Jr., as always, good morning. Good Monday morning, everyone. Have a wonderful and blessed day. TyroneTonyReedJr.com. Hey, and if you did not watch last week's Clever Tile Penning with Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. and Kathy Jackson and David Atkins, you need to fix that, because it's still available on my page, also on my YouTube page, where you can watch it with maximum quality sound and picture. It'll be wonderful. It was a terrific episode. And I'm not saying I had anything to do with it. It was Tyrone and Kathy and David. We all had I think, a very interesting talk on faith in writing. How does faith influence the writing, or does it at all? What do you do as workarounds when the story dictates it? We covered a lot of ground, and I think it was very enjoyable. And if my views are any indication, it is probably it's approaching the top episode. It is definitely in the top 3. Okay, it came off very well, and I'm really looking forward again to seeing Bobby Nash and Charles F. Millhouse this coming week on Clever Title Penning. And then I've got to fill the Tuesday after that, because I've got Amy Hale scheduled. I got to get me a couple more people I haven't talked to yet about contracts, do's and don'ts. We're going to talk about the legal side of writing and how to see why you're beautiful. Anyway, we're going to be doing stuff like that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And you missed this comment, I want to say hello to all. I have a new project I was added to. We are getting artists together who will be donating the art to child survivors. Well, if you want to put a link or more information on that, David, let's see. Did I miss it? Now you got me curious. I just saw the thing on, let's see. Where did you? Oh, if you typed it on Facebook. Oh no, you're on YouTube. I don't know what happened. I usually get everything from YouTube, and I get about 75% of Facebook. But anyway, and the giantess herself. Oh yeah. And Matt Shore, 3 days left to reserve a copy of Moby Dick Back from the Deep. And there's that Kickstarter. Thank you, Matt. And Sarah Meredith. Hello, David. Yay. And Eric Hawkins. Shipping is high on the metal stuff, but email them to inquire about what you need. My quote was cheaper on each product and $100 less than shipping. I did order $500 in product, and the shipping was going to be $125. We're talking about metal, printing on metal. And I ordered some bookmarks, and they quoted me like $45. And I'm like, dang, the weight on that cannot be anywhere near what it costs. And if that's the way it's going to be, I'm going to look for somebody else to make my metal bookmarks. Because to be honest, like I said, Amazon will ship me a case of Volcana, which weighs about 35 pounds, and I only get charged $26 for that. So I'm just curious. Anyway, everyone's saying hello to everybody, and we're going to run and Man Candy. Oh, yeah. Come by and get a taste. And Charles F. Millhouse, check out my Facebook group. I posted the official and exclusive Captain Hawkland action figure. You know you're making it when your character has an action figure. You're right. You're absolutely right, Charles. Mine's more of an inaction figure. Oh, no, it moves. It moves. It has two areas of articulation, 3 if you count the tassels. Anyway, I know, and that's how I felt when Terry Smith gave that to me last year at Heroes for Kids Con, and I'm like, oh my god, I was just like, I was verklempt. It was great. No, I'm proud of you, Charles. That's fantastic. I would love it if you could like mass market that stuff, man. I'd love to see you get that. Say, hey Meredith, I missed comments just like Brian did. No, I didn't see it. It did not show up in StreamYard, David. So I'm blaming you. All right. I don't get to say that very often. It's more the other way around. And there we go. The Monday Morning Morris Monster Rise. It is up for you, Christian, all the time, even when you're not here. And anyway, Teresa Dunn, good morning, Sir Brian. Further fellow Morians. Mwah, Teresa, how are you? And as I announced at the start of the show, I finished the first edit on her book, poetry, which is tentatively entitled Poetry Expressions 2. Cookie has done the preliminary cover for it, or at least we've got a start on it. And then we're going to piece that together, and then hopefully within the next month or so, we hope to maybe get Teresa published, and she's going to be publishing herself this time. It's going to be a glorious adventure for her. It really is. And everyone's saying hello, 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 and hello, hello, hello. And Teresa Dunn has a link to that book. Please check it out. It's that is Poetry Expressions, Volume 1 from Ariana R. Cherry's Cherry House Press. It is a fantastic book, and you will love owning it. And you're going to love book 2. There's going to be more poetry, and there is going to be a lot of fun in it, and some observations from Teresa that you will enjoy reading. And Eric Hawkins, by the way, I never want to draw thousands of ice cubes again. Well, yeah, this is like a quote I gave the other day. I read an old interview with Mike Grell, who is he's done a lot of stuff for DC, and he wrote Iron Man for a while at Marvel. But he's also done things like Star Slayer, Warlord, The Atom, and did a long, long run on Green Arrow back in the 80s and 90s. And when he was drawing Warlord, which is one of my favorite series ever, someone asked him, said, well, how is it that your art and your writing are so high quality? And he said, well, Mike Grell, the writer, never asks Mike Grell, the artist, to draw anything he doesn't know how to draw. So, maybe just, maybe the writer, Eric, the writer, ought to talk to Mr. Hawkins, the artist, and come up with a compromise. That lets you out for that great iceberg book I had in mind. Anyway, Nick Tucker, I had a whole system breakdown when you stopped live streaming every day. I'm sorry, Nick. I can only imagine what happened when when I didn't broadcast on Friday because I had something come up. And actually, the thing I wanted to go, it's a monthly entrepreneurs meeting. This would have been the first one since I think January that we would have had, and because the place where we usually meet went into immediate lockdown upon the initial announcements of the COVID-19. Well, we, or as we should be calling it, the My Sharona, Miley Cyrus, Peter pandemic. But anyway, we haven't met since then. I wanted to go, but I had Teresa's book I wanted to complete. I was in the middle of editing Eric's comic book, and then I got the green light to edit a third thing, which I cannot talk about right now, except that it's involving Terraform Comics. And I had all these assignments, plus my own work. I'm still trying to get that story edited for Charles Millhouse. And excuse me, reflux. And it's like I was trying so hard to catch up with everything, and I thought, well, I need a dedicated weekend. So I, basically cut off almost human contact from Friday on and got this stuff done. So I got the thing for Terraform done, handed that in yesterday, got Teresa's done last night, got Eric's done, I think, on Saturday. Thought I could get it done in 4 hours, but it was a lot more thorough. And the man needs, I am glad I'm doing it because I know more about commas. I know more about commas than a lot of people, apparently. Not dissing you, Eric, at all. When I wasn't as familiar with commas, mine went to the other regard where every word would have a comma after it. Apparently, it only works if you're writing like William Shatner talks. But anyway, no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all my editing this weekend. Had a great time. And speaking of having a great time, I hope that's extending to Stephen Keith Tate and April Carden. And who else have we got I haven't said hello to? Bill Sarton. Hello. Good morning, Tammy Scott. What? Jessica Johnson, glad to see you. And I'm going to screw this up, sir. I do apologize. Barack Kanoglu? I'm not sure, but I know I messed it up just like I messed up Tina McElhinney. Mwah to you. Anyway, hope everyone's having a great morning. Glenn to Heath is watching. Or Hill is watching. Glenn, I messed up your name too. I guess I get everyone's eventually screwed up, so you're next in line. Glenn, thank you for being here. Harley Slavic and John B. Pica, gentlemen, always a pleasure. I know how to pronounce your names. And I could be wrong all this time. And Kathy Jackson, glad to see you all. Anyway, let's see. Sam and Ron have been friends since kindergarten. They always believed their friendship would survive anything. After Sam finds a blue marble that has been having some strange effects on them, will their friendship last? Find out in Rick Bradley's first published work, The Marble, in the horror anthology The Nightmare Collective, which you can pick up on Amazon in paperback and digital form. And it's wonderful. It's 8 wonderful stories of horror, one of whom belongs to me. Anyway, Michaela Jade working today, so just listening from YouTube. Well, I'm glad to have you here, Michaela. As always, I love you. And congratulations on your nomination, you and Charles F. Milhouse. That is so very cool. And Jessica Johnson says a quick good morning to everyone. Well, a quick good morning to you, too. And don't forget, Heroes for Kids out of Perryville, Missouri, as we're exiting lockdown. Knock on wood. Or for Micah in this case. Anyway, we hope that you will go see a con where you see Heroes for Kids because they are on model. They are awesome. They are in character, and they sell a whole bunch of really cool, unique pop culture collectibles that the proceeds go to benefit the kids and the community. And so does the proceeds from Heroes for Kids Comic-Con, which is still a go, July 18th in Perryville, Missouri. Please go to this page here for information on getting your motel room as well as your reservation for the show, and proceeds will be going to a couple of great charities, one of which is the let me get I buried my notes, dang it. Anyway, St. Jude's Children's Hospital is one of them, and that's good enough for me. And speaking of good enough for me, there is Ted Davies Artistry. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a good morning. Good morning, Brian and Nevermore. It's Bill Sarton. It is always a pleasure, sir. And Carl Wisman. When Brian stopped doing daily shows, I no longer had an excuse to avoid work every morning. I'm sorry, Carl. Now Carl's out every other day mowing his lawn, right, and making the neighbors jealous. I have to admit, it was a little bit of a shock for me, too, because I knew I had to do it, because it was draining a lot of my time. And even for the lack of preparation that I continually approach the show with, it's still a drain because you still have to get yourself in the headspace to do this, to be talking constantly and let minimal dead air happen. There was minimal dead air. And, but anyway, the first day I didn't do it. I actually started picking up my gear and all to set this up. And then I realized, no, you don't have to do it today. And I'm like, I don't? Really? You're teasing me, aren't you? You're playing a trick on me, aren't you, brain? But no, it was quite interesting that, I felt I felt an odd absence in my life too, but I knew also I couldn't sustain it because not only do you have the thing where you psych yourself up to be on, just like an actor has to get into the right headspace to go on stage or before the camera, or an athlete has to psych themselves out to go on the field of competition. It takes you have to be in it takes a little bit of effort because you have to get into a certain headspace because I have to react to your stuff. I have to react quickly and kind of self-edit as I go. Now, that self-editing part, obviously, I'm weak at, all right? So otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about dino porn and my chronic drinking, which really isn't true. So yeah. Anyway, so I felt it too. And then when I finally settled into the 3 day, the morning show at least, because I'm already used to doing the Tuesday night show. But once I settled into the 3 days a week, um, it was really difficult because I just felt this urge to get back here simply because I'd been in the habit. And there is a part of me that misses it. And if it were probably more profitable, I would probably do this most every day. And I recognize that we have not read Santa Sign since then either. So I was kind of digging doing that as well. Although Cookie is working on editing the audiobook, so we are getting that done. We are going to be hopefully getting some audio out before the end of the year. Also wanting to put some new stuff on YouTube that is not related to Nevermind the Furthermore or Clever Title Pending. So we've got stuff going on to fill my empty hours. Plus, I'm guest starring on a lot of other shows, like Stupid O'Clock, and I was on with JD Calderon last week, and I hope you'll catch that on the rerun. That was a fun talk. So I've been going on these different shows, having a blast. But it takes a lot of time. And plus, there's also this wind down time that has to happen. Because there is a certain amount of adrenaline that goes into this show, because I got to be on my guard on you people. I know you're vicious and will turn on me in a heartbeat, which is what I welcome. Anyway, saying hello to everyone here and morning. And Rick Bradley says, hey, keep an eye on his Facebook author page at rbradley42 and his website at authorrickbradley.com for a special announcement in the next few days. We eagerly await that. And then we got hellos going back and forth again. And Jessica Johnson says, Heroes for Kids Comic-Con, July 18th in Perryville, Missouri. Proceeds to benefit the Missouri National Veterans Memorial Wall and the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and they still have a few booths available. Now, I understand that at least one of them is not available because Kenny Sills, the children's book author, it's called Tattoo, A Beautiful Sin, and it's a great book. Anyway, he's already said he wants the table one of the tables next to me, and Eric Hawkins, I believe, is probably paying $10 extra to be put on the far side of the room. So anyway, so please check out Heroes for Kids Con. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a great guest list. Kathy Jackson, Amy Hale, myself, Philo Barnhart, Charles D. Moissant, Matthew Ashley, the great Matthew Ashley, Jackie Nelson, a whole bunch of my cool friends will be there. And if you're cool, you'll be there too. All right. And everyone's still saying hi. And Lacey Lemke has a Enter God Erasure is a brand new book on KDP. Oh my gosh, I better save my lunch money then, because I need a copy of that from the wonderful Lacey Lemke, who will be, I believe you'll be at Heroes for Kids too, won't you? I believe. I gotta get a guest list sometime from you. And Rob Anderson has a link to my Goodreads. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. And don't lick the metal, says Carl Witzman. Are you trying to take every bit of fun out of my life? I'll lick what I want to. Anyway, take that where you want. And Robert Beatty and Philip Thompson, glad you're both here. Don't know how you guys feel about it, but anyway, you picked the wrong time. Anyway, glad to have you here as always. And Meredith says, Brian makes Mondays bearable. Need to see him licking a book spine to make morning complete. Well, for you, I'll tell you what. This will horrify you. If you like Lacey Lemke's work, don't forget Nightmare Oasis 1 and 2. I just happen to have book 2 here. That was for you, Meredith. As Lacey says, I'm never speaking to you again, Brian. Anyway, glad I could help, Meredith. If you can think of other things you'd like to see me lick, Meredith, just let me know. Charles F. Millhouse, I'm restructuring StormgatePress.com. That's his wonderful website. And we'll be adding contributors to my anthology. Some writers Stormgate will be representing, and a couple new members of the Stormgate editorial team. That is cool. That is fantastic. That is great. And I'm going to get that story to you by the end of the week if it kills me, which, all things considered. Anyway, and I want to get something in an anthology book too. That sounds like fun. That horror thing. And David Atkins, we are doing a lot right now. We are putting cosplayers together for videos, artists create art, and much more for children. Contact Dan Johnson for more information. We have a list coming. Well, I better contact Dan Johnson because I'm apparently getting nothing from you. Where did you learn to promote? It sure wasn't from me, David Atkins. Come on. Come across the information right now. Only I am allowed to be secretive about all that's coming from Terraform. And Kathy Jackson, I bet that's your author page on Amazon. And check out the work of Kathy Jackson. She's an amazing author. She is wonderful. And everyone's saying hello, hello, hello. And Amy Hale, big thanks to everyone that has supported the Feisty Heroines Anthology. It's done well. Are we still number one? I say we, like I've got a horse in the race here. But yeah, check out the Feisty Heroines Anthology. I've got a link on my page on Rising Tide. And I know Amy Hale's got information on it, but they're trying to be a USA Today bestseller. I'd like to see them I'd like to see it happen. And back to work I go. I'm so sorry, Jessica. Have a great day. Hugs to you and Cookie. Much love and hugs back into you and the family. All right. Can't wait to see you next month. Less than a month from now. Oh, I'm getting excited all of a sudden. Why, yes, I am. Anyway, and everyone's saying good morning and hello, hello, hello. And Harley Slavic, greetings. Hope everyone is well. And check out the Harley Slavic store on Facebook. And good morning, Multiverse Citizen Pica. It is a pleasure to see you as well. I'm so glad you took that the appropriate pill to be part of the energy battery this morning. And I hope all's going well for you, my friend. And Sarah, if you like horror, ghosts, and real-life serial killers to add to a gamer story, check first actually, but she's got some lists that she's being published by Dave Roy Woodrum from Fishwife Press, and they're amazing. I love them. Seriously, I got them, and they're terrific. And you are terrific, Sarah. I'm so proud of you. John B. Pike, I had my life threatened yesterday by racists for recording an abuse of power by a local police force. How was your Father's Day? Oh, well. By default, it's better than yours. No, I am not a parent, so I didn't neglect to wish everyone a happy Father's Day. I believe on the Wednesday show, but I hope the rest of your day went well. But the thing is, John, right now, the best advice I've heard for dealing with the crazy that's going on outside our windows right now is to have your camera ready and be recording, because that's a record. Now, in some municipalities, I will say legally, it may not be enough to get somebody arrested, but like just on that grounds alone. But it can be used in evidence and as an investigatory tool. Because I know in Indiana, let's say somebody kicks in someone else's door and takes something out of that house to which they kicked in and do not live, and they're standing there with widescreen TV on the front lawn. You can call the police and show them that video, and they can use it to establish probable cause and all that. And the DA, your local DA, can use it as evidence in a trial. But you can't just go and say, "Hey, I've got a video of this guy kicking in the door and stealing that item," and they can't arrest them on the spot. There's like a whole procedure for it, but anyway, it's good that you were doing that, man. I am proud of you. I really am. And morning, Harley Slavic. Good morning, and congratulations, says Kathy Jackson. Definitely. And Tina says, "Hi everyone. We are working on signing up people for our new monthly newsletter, and we are working on our first Kickstarter next month for our new book, Roadkill Rampage." Oh, definitely. I got to sign up for that. That sounds Trey cool. And big news, we have a print publisher for the League of Impossibles comic. Yes, John, things are moving upwards for you. I'm glad to see you've been working hard enough at it. And the Wonder. Oh, that's okay. I thought that name was familiar. And Burak, I apologize for botching your name horribly. That's, the name was oddly familiar, Lacey Lemke, and I didn't place it. Silent Slaughter is a comic book that Lacey and Barack have been working on for quite some time now, and it's kind of a really interesting kind of horror crime comic that I really enjoy, and plans for many more. Coolness. And but anyway, Brick, well, glad to have you here. And Lacey, always pleased to see you. I miss you. And Sarah says, think of the heinous things serial killers would do as the non-flesh suit form. Oh, thank you for the cheerful note there, Sarah. And she's hugging herself right now, I can tell. And Nick Tucker says, yeah, my net glitched out for a bit there, and I turned around and Terraform Comics is everywhere on my feed. Seems like I blinked and Rising Tide went full tsunami. Hey, that's the way it works, dude. Who knows? Maybe we'll find some more stuff for you to write games about. But by the time you could be like our official game designer or something. I say our Terraform Comics is a collective of so far 6 people. We have some other people assisting us, but go to terraformcomics.com for more information and sign up for our eventual newsletter. But Meredith Walgren is part of it. Rob Anderson is. Luke Stone is the editor-in-chief. Varian Grant is helping with distribution. Eric Hodgson is our art director. Very capable art director. He draws good stuff. And I'm there as kind of like the outreach person. And, my official title is, I think, consumer liaison. That means that my title is kind of ill-defined, and I can always say that, well, that's not my job. Anyway, as I told Luke, and so far they've been laughing. But anyway, but no, and we've already announced we've got 4 titles coming out. Dinosaur Man from Eric. Also, Rob Anderson's Cat Dance Supermom will be moving over there. And I've got a brand new book starting up called Scarlet Trace. If you like pulp style action, that's going to be the book for you. And and Hybrid Sons of Gods by Luke Stone. Luke is going to be a busy boy pretty soon. And John B. Pike, more news to come, but we will continue the incremental releases on Patreon and then print the completed book for retail. That's how you do it, young man. That's how you do it. Well thought out. Meredith Logman says, please take a look at this promotion to help build interest in Mark Rienzo's Kickstarter and have a chance at winning a deck, the really cool battle cards that he designed. That definitely looks cool. Yeah, check that out. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff happening right now in crowdfunding, and y'all need to keep up on it because that's where the real creativity is happening. And www.patreon.com/impossibilist for the work of John B. Pica. You need to have that stuff in your collection. And Phil Thompson, how many books you have on Kindle? I believe it's just the stuff that I've published. I believe it's 7 at the moment. Let's see. Sandestein, Conflict, Volcana, Skyman, Bachelor's Grove, Review. I think I may be 6, but I've got a 7th coming out later this year, and which should be Aquatic. I got to get back to that, and hopefully we can get Volcana 2 out the door before the end of the year, early next. And Rob Anderson has a link to my Smashwords page. Thank you, Rob. Rob will tell you himself, because I'm sure he's a fan. But if you go to Smashwords, it's ebooks and other things, other delights. Meredith Walgren has a book there, and you will love it. You will just simply love it all. And John B. Pike, in other news, if you're looking for a great TV series, check out the Netflix original series, The Order, Witches versus Werewolves, on the campus of Harvard University. Season 2 is streaming right now. That is very cool. David Atkins, I have very little time on here today because our central air went out and the house is starting to get hot already. Got to get tires and stay out till the air is fixed today. The air in your tires? How'd you break the air in your tires? Anyway, sucks overnight. Yeah. Actually, Indiana's been pretty good. We've been having good sleeping weather at night, but during the day it's been getting in the upper 80s to mid-90s. And we did break down and turned on the AC. So definitely hope you get that fixed real fast, like today or sooner. Anyway, John B. Pike, also for Father's Day, I watched a movie I'd never seen with my dad, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I know. Oh, man. It's taking you this long? One of the classic Westerns? Oh, my God. And I shouldn't say that because I still find people who haven't watched The Princess Bride. And it astonishes me that that's one of those movies that I cannot imagine anyone going through life and not having seen The Princess Bride because it's one of the most perfect movies ever made. I love that film with a passion. So anyway, well, we're glad you got around to it. I'd watch any Western that Clint Eastwood was in, frankly. And John B. Pike, I realized I've never watched any Clint Eastwood movie other than Unforgiven. Is that blasphemy? Yes, it is. And I believe there is a passage in the Bible about thou shalt not miss any Clint Eastwood movies, period. I've even watched those stupid things like Any Which Way But Loose. you know, no, I've been a fan of Clint Eastwood since Rawhide. I grew up watching Rawhide on TV where he was on. I don't think I've ever seen a movie of Clint Eastwood that's disappointed me. I like Gran Torino. That was a really good film. And it was produced by Jeanette Kahn, the former publisher of DC Comics. A wonderful lady, lovely lady. But anyway, I hope you'll catch up because Clint Eastwood has done some really good stuff. He's done some really stupid things too. His Dirty Harry are surprisingly good, especially the early ones. He just does a lot of good work. He's one of those actors. He does stretch, but he's like Chuck Norris in that. Chuck Norris or Arnold Schwarzenegger, he knows his limits and he pushes them, but never ventures too far beyond them. Because you see some actors who are clearly out of their depth, but they know their depth and they work it. But they do grow as artists. So I definitely recommend the films of Clint Eastwood. And if anyone's got some other suggestions for John that he might enjoy watching, please list them and tell him why. John B. Pica, But the Good, Bad, and the Ugly is a great example of what editing can do. That movie is over 3 hours, and much of it does not move the story at all, particularly the scenes dealing with the Union and Confederate armies. That's true, but keep in mind, John, that was back in the day when films still had intermissions. I can remember even going to I can remember all the time growing up in theaters, going to the theater, and if it was like a really long movie like Lawrence of Arabia, for instance, there was an intermission. You didn't get them like in James Bond films, for instance, because they move pretty fast. If it was like 2 hours or under, you rarely had an intermission. But I think the last movie I saw that had an intermission was Gandhi. And I think I want to say that was like about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Brilliant movie. Ben Kingsley turned in a bravura performance. No wonder he won an Oscar for it. But there's some movies there are a lot of movies actually I'd have welcomed a bathroom break. Like Hollywoodland. I hated that movie, except for Ben Affleck's parts. But I would have welcomed a chance to not wet my pants during that thing. It was close. The minute the lights came up, zip, up the aisle I went. And if the stalls would have been filled, I'd have probably pulled someone out just to get some relief. But anyway, that's enough of my internal habits. Eric Hawkins, I am not actually scheduled for Heroes for Kids. I'm afraid I will be knee deep in fulfillment. Boom, chicka, wow, wow. But anyway, when correctly viewed, everything is loot. Anyway, I hope you can make it, though. I really do hope you can make it, because I had fun, because that was your first show last year, buddy. That's the one that like popped it. You know what I'm saying? You need to go back for that second date. It's the only kind thing to do, and buy it dinner too. Lacey Lemke, yeah, I'm at Heroes. You can't get rid of me. I ain't trying, girlfriend. I ain't trying. And hopefully see you at SilCon too. And hopefully we can get a couple more shows going on before the end of the year. Oh, let's see. Who else have we got here that I have not said hello to? Cindy Cap, CKOEPP.com. Love you. Hope you had a great weekend. Chuck Pinot, always a pleasure, brother. Always a pleasure to have you here. Rochelle Lesser, good to see you too. Hope your morning's going well. So Nick Tucker now tells us, I am watching you in stereo to get things done, but even though I am working on the Hybrids RPG, I may have something new review coming to my Amazon page. Ooh, do tell, Nick. I'm glad to see you working, brother. Hi, Slavic. We still have DC Comics available. See what we have via our YouTube channel. We still have the items we did unboxings for so far, with exceptions. So click the channel link if interested and contact him via email at harleyslavic@gmail.com and via Messenger or the face or the company page. You can get a hold of him and he can get a hold of your geek stuff that you need. Rick Bradley, I'm almost done with the issues of the Immortal Hulk they have on Hoopla, and holy moly, if you just like comics, you are doing yourself a disservice not reading it. It has breathed new life into the Green Goliath. Yeah, and all the characters alongside him, too. I agree. Yeah, I read over the weekend that they're canceling the book with issue 50. And I'm like, no! I have a feeling they're going to just reboot the numbering. Because except for a lot of the legacy titles, Marvel isn't really big on keeping books around, past a year. Number one still sell, kids. Anyway, but no, the Immortal Hulk is brilliant. Aside from the fact that each issue has an Alex Ross cover that's worth buying the book just for that and framing. The Hulk is now being written not as a superhero book, but as a horror title that they're finding the gamma irradiated beings like Hulk, She-Hulk, Rick Jones, Doc Samson, etc. The Abomination can't die. When the sun goes down, they come back up from the grave. And it is a little grisly sometimes. It is a little icky. And there's some very uncomfortable moments in it, but it is marvelously done. It is, and that's not a pun. It's from Marvel Comics. It's really a good book. I do recommend it. And if you go on Hoopla, if you have a library card, your local library, you use that, your local library may have a presence on hoopla.com. And right now you can check out 30 things a month. And currently I'm reading an image book by Chuck Dixon that I'm really enjoying. Can't remember the name of it. I want to see if I can call that up here. Done. It's let's see. I read Berserker. That was really good by Jeff Lemire. And the Old Guard. Yeah, I'm reading the Old Guard. It is a group of immortal adventurers, mercenaries actually. And last week I read DC Goes to War, which is a retrospective of all of DC's war comics from Black Hawk in the Golden Age all the way up through Sergeant Rock, the Haunted Tank, the Losers, Johnny Cloud, etc., Gunner and Sergeant Pooch, all the way up to the beautiful, written by Garth Ennis, Enemy Ace two-parter. Brilliant, brilliant work. And I just got through reading the second volume of Young Justice, and I've got waiting for me Archie 1955, second part of Doomsday Clock, Catwoman, To the Max, the HBO Max digital comics, and the first 3 volumes of Rick and Morty. Really looking forward to that. Plus, I recommend another graphic novel series called Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich and Andrew Cartmel. Really good reads there. I'm really digging that. So we're going to call that back up and get back to where we were. And there we go. And back on my page. I'm trying to get my YouTube thing here, or my contact here, so I can keep on top of who's showing up here. Anyway, yeah, check out hoopla.com if you want to check out 30 free items every month. TV, comic books, graphic novels, audiobooks, movies, music, a whole lot of stuff. David Atkins, check out this week as I post the sketch I'll be working on for the final round Wednesday for our special child. Love the reaction we got last time. Warms your heart to see their smiles with our art. That is so very cool. Glad to see that. And shot past a lot of your comments. And how far behind are we? Dare I look? Oh my God. And only 20 minutes behind. I'm not doing badly today. Lacey Lemke, why did you bring my poor innocent book Spine into your debauchery? You don't fool me, Lacey. I know you well enough. You're going to be clipping all the video. You're going to download this later, clip all the video out, and just have me doing that. all over and over on an endless loop. Lacey, I know you too well. You don't fool me in one moment. Because it was the closest book I had. Anyway, Brian, my heart skipped a few beats. That book will never be the same. And Lacey goes, see, I told you, don't lick my books. And Sarah, oh yeah, licking the spines. The lady loves it when you lick the spines. Eric Hawkins, if by some act of God I am done with fulfillment, I will see if they have any tables left. I don't want to offer Zombieful World 2 at a show before it has gone out to my backers. Now, that makes perfect sense. Always treat your crowdfunding backers first. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Rick Bradley says one of these days the show will just be Brian licking an ice cream cone staring into the camera. Yeah, but whose ice cream cone? That's what I want to know. Anyway, well, that's the thing, and Rick Bradley, you might want to consider Heroes for Kids in Perryville, Missouri. To give you some perspective, it is about 10 minutes due west of, I believe it's west of Chester, Illinois. So I'm thinking that's not a horrible drive for you. Route 13 to probably the way I go is like Route 13 to fastest way would be going 16 from Harrisburg, 16 to I-57 down to the I believe it's the Anna exit, and then you keep driving west. You hit Route 3, and then head north along the Mississippi River, and you'll run into Chester, and then you follow. You make your way to the Popeye statue in town. There are maps available. Then cross that bridge, and that takes you into Missouri, and it'll take you into Perryville. Anyway, it's not that far for you. Excuse me, it's more of a production for me, but it's worth it. Seriously, Rick, give that some thought. Carl Witzman, I meant to avert my eyes during the licking, but dang, you mean avert them to it, right? And right, Sarah, like he needs encouragement. Yeah, that's true. Free gift for everyone, says John B. Pike. My short story Trixie Goes Downtown is available for you for free. I'd love it if you download it, read it, and posted a comment. That would be cool. And I meant to avert my eyes, but I was too late. And now you're going, thank goodness I missed that opportunity. And Sarah, I am such an enabler, Meredith. I love it. Oh, poor Carl can't help but see those spine licking. I know, and I do it just at random times, just people. So, and I'm looking at my numbers. My numbers didn't go down. Anyway, and bring Cookie home. Thank you, Sarah. In fact, you probably all heard me yelling at her at the very start of this while we were had our opening card because she has to go to work just as I'm starting the show today. Okay, Brian, here we go. And there was spine licking before I could even reach the rum. Damn, this is Carl Witzman. Well, you should have your rum on hand, because you just never know when the tongue will come out. Anyway, Amy Hale publicly asking if you want to schedule a Geek Speak and Raw interview, 2 sites, 2 podcasts. Amy Hale, take her up on it. She's Meredith's a fantastic conversationalist, great interviewer. You will be glad you did. And Rick Radley, I have also started up some RPG lists along with Dave Woodrum at Fishwife on Drive-Thru-RPG, and check them out right there. There are the links. You want them. You have them. You must have them. It is required. And Sarah mocks Carl with her laughter. And Bill Sargent says, Sarah, I'm a serial killer. I killed a half box of Quisp cereal on Saturday morning. Oh, yeah, make sure Quake doesn't find out you're seeing another cereal behind his back. And Robert Beatty had an amazing Father's Day, spent the day grilling and ended with making an impromptu drive-in movie. Oh, cool. Took a TV outside and me and the wife watched Shaw's Under the Stars. Now, that sounds awesome, dude. I'm not mocking that one bit. That sounds like fun. It did remind me, though, I saw a meme this morning. Mother's Day means that the family gets together and takes mom out to a restaurant for lunch. Whereas Father's Day means the family gets together and makes dad make them all something to eat. So anyway, it sounds great, Robert. I'm happy for you. I really am. Ari Slavic, the great Chuck Pinot recently delivered to me a certain comic, which we will do a YouTube video on. Thanks, Chuck, and thank you, Rob Anderson. So look forward to that. Definitely. Let's see, something Chuck and Rob worked on together recently. I'm trying to think of what it is. Oh, man. Oh, well, I'm glad Elefarts never forget because I do. And Michaela Jade says, I will be at Perryville. Yes, just booked my room last night and I will be spending the weekend down there. As things stand now, I will have company. I think my screen froze at that moment. Anyway, I will have company that weekend. Find out who it is. Let's say hashtag bringing her home. Anyway, David Atkins says, here's the link for the group as well. I had to log in just to share their one. Making me work, Brian. That's right. You're going to promote, you're going to do it properly. All right. There it is. And Meredith Logren, thank you, David Atkins. I do appreciate that sincerely. And please subscribe to the mailing list at terraformcomics.com and follow Terraform Comics on social media. Terraform Comics, changing the landscape of comics. For Meredith Logren there, our chiefess of promote all that is promotional. Anyway, thank you for that, Meredith. And Christian mocks Sarah with his laughter. Oh, how dare you, cad. Anyway, yeah, definitely check out what we're doing at Terraform Comics. I am excited by it. We've got some really cool plans coming up. And we are also open to submissions. Please go to Terraform Comics, and you'll find a submissions form there. Please fill it out and thrill us with your creativity. Sirius Atkins says, David Atkins, so do not take offense, but would any hero be safe from this tide of hate if they were present and were trying to stop the protests, or would they still be a hero? That's a great question, actually, David. I would love to open it up. What do you think if Superman was real, if Spider-Man was real? Iron Man, any of them, Captain America, if they tried to interfere with the protests, do you think they would be hailed as heroes? I'll throw something else in there. Do you think they would? For instance, Captain America, I could see him not interfering with the protests because that is so in the Constitution, the right to protest. Now, the rioters, on the other hand, that's a whole nother ball of wax. And the incidents of police overstepping their bounds, that I definitely think Steve Rogers would have risked going to prison. I think if he was Steve Rogers / Captain America would support the right of the protesters to congregate, to peacefully air their grievances. Now, the people that are like throwing cinder blocks through local businesses and setting them on fire, that's another story. That's breaking the law. And I have a feeling that even, if Cap were in Minneapolis a little over a month ago, there wouldn't be any protests. Steve Rogers might be calling Sharon Carter for bail money, but there would be no protests. That's my view. I think Superman would be the same way. Or the Flash. I can't think of too many heroes, and I can think of a few heroes that might be out there marching with them. So anyway, I'd love to hear your comments. Please, David has a wonderful question, so please, no offense taken. I think that's a rather interesting question. It certainly beats the usual who would win in a fight. Hey, John B. Pica, you are the Stan Lee of Terraforma Comics. I am probably the chief hawker right now, although I haven't done much. Meredith's done an amazing job getting our message out. Oh, Meredith, one thing, if you're listening, saw the graphic on the Terraform people who are going to be at TampaCon. I can't share it. Can you make that possible? Or tag me in that, because I'd like to share it on my pages. All right. Rick Bradley, question for everyone. What arc for a character that was getting stagnant rekindled your love for the character? Wow. So many in my case. I was kind of enjoying the Martin Pasco issues of Saga and the Swamp Thing, but the minute I heard Alan Moore was going to be writing it, I'm like, I'm there. I'm totally there. And a lot of long-running comics are like people. They are up, they're down, they're up, they're down. They have like a biorhythm of their own. And there are some books that I have put away. In fact, there was even a year of the New 52 Superman where I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm not enjoying the stories. I did come back on the end of it, though, when they were transitioning from the New 52 Superman to the pre-crisis one that's now in the book. But yeah, there have been a lot of times where I'm like, why am I buying this book? Why am I buying this book? It's horrible. But then somebody will come in and I'm like, oh, that's why. This person understands the character. And it's happened on just about every long form comic that I've ever bought. But what are yours? What brought you back into the fold there, if you will? Eric Hawkins. Eric Hodgson is a very talented artist. I've drawn with him a few times on Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition. He's a really great guy. He really is, and boy howdy, he is talented. He really is. And I'm really looking forward to Dinosaur Man. There's going to be a lot of good stuff, and in fact, I think I can safely say I don't want to talk out of turn or reveal our hand too much, because deals can be screwed up by just announcing them before ink is dried on the contracts. And yes, we do have contracts, but there is one book, though, in fact, the one I worked on over the weekend, I'm very enthused about. It is gorgeous. It is really nicely drawn. Story is really good. And but anyway, I will put it that way. And we are open to other people that want to work with us. So anyway, we're promising a little bit more professional environment than most. And Christian Basil, Meredith and Sarah should be hired to write great stories for Pornhub. What about you, Christian? Oh, wait a minute, Christian. You're still working on the Doctor Who stuff. Never mind. Anyway, I should be on there too some days. Anyway, let's see. David Atkins says, seriously, ask myself this question amid the Nazi symbol and Cap fighting Hitler. Also, the fact that Superman fought them as well, so they do not like them for their history. Would that play a part? Well, also you got to consider, David, that was another era. And I would certainly not, even as little fondness as I have for the looters, who I am careful to separate from the protesters. I think they're two separate entities. The rioters, I don't know that would be germane. But you also have to keep in mind that as bad as the rioters are, and the ones that especially take out their anger or their greed on their own community, or even go to the next one, take it out there, and then come home thinking they've got a safe place. I don't put them in the same category as Hitler. I mean, as soon as somebody, comes out of, through the front window of a broken window of a Target store with a microwave oven under their arm, as soon as one of them opens a concentration camp, then I may change my mind. There are degrees of evil. Rick says, Meredith Lawgren, in my romance novel, I basically kidnapped her and dared her to be brave. That works. That seriously works. Glad to do it and nice to meet you, bud, says Chuck Pino. Yeah. And good morning to all y'all. Mwah! Cindy Kemp, glad to have you here. CKOEPP.com for a great newsletter. You got to sign up for it. I feel sorry for anyone that has not seen Willow. Oh, yeah, that's another beautiful movie. And I love The Rocketeer, too. Make no bones about it. The Princess Bride is a perfect movie. Thank you, John B. Pica, for being the right-thinking citizen you are. I agree. I mean, there's everything in that film. It's got drama. It's got action. It's got comedy. It's got romance. Oh, what a beautiful love story. It's got twists and turns. It's got an incredible cast. To me, there's just not a single wrong note in that whole thing. And if nothing else, buy the movie, pay full price for it, and just watch the sword fight between Carrie Ellis and dang it, blanked out his name. I do that all the time. But anyway, that sword fight in the opening, oh my God, one of the greatest sword fighting sequences ever. Mandy Patinkin, thank you. And confession, I've never seen The Princess Bride or The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Well, Robert Beatty, now you've got your task set before you. Seriously, The Princess Bride is a great family film. You and your family will love it. Like I said, beautiful, great cast, incredible script, fun. It is seriously. It's a great family film. I really believe that. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. If you like a good shoot 'em up, that was really one of the first real spaghetti westerns, we called them back then. Lot more violent, a lot less glamorous than what Hollywood was giving us about the Old West. Probably closer to the truth. But that was Clint Eastwood's breakout role, where he transitioned from television star to movie star. and I definitely recommend it. I think you would enjoy it. I really do. I suddenly now get the hype over Clint Eastwood. Yeah, and the thing is, John, he's also a very talented director as well. His movies, he doesn't do anything flashy, but he's just a strong directing storyteller, and that's the basis of his work to me. Like I said, I was prepared to let Gran Torino go, but I had an opportunity to watch it, and I found myself riveted by it. He is great. The story is rock solid. He's just one of those people I trust his judgment on a project. So Nick Tockert also says, if you're talking Clint Eastwood and haven't seen Paint Your Wagon, a musical with Lee Marvin, okay, that may change your mind about Clint Eastwood. I take that back. Clint Eastwood singing, he is as great a speaking voice as Clint Eastwood has. He has as much he has as much business singing as Pierce Brosnan in Mamma Mia. Oh, that hurt my heart. Mamma Mia. I love the music of ABBA. And that was a decent story, but there was some great acting in there, good choreography. But when Pierce Brosnan, who I think has one of the most gorgeous voices that humanity has been graced to hear him sing, it's like, oh my God, I can sing better than that, and I don't consider myself a singer. It was just astonishingly weak, whereas his speaking voice is so powerful. It could be powerful, but I don't know how to describe, kind of reedy, I guess would be the term. Kind of thin. His singing voice. If Marnie Nixon came in and dubbed for him, I would understand. Bill Sartin, I'll watch The Princess Bride if you watch The Killing Joke. I've seen the Killing Joke. I think it's a piece of crap. I really do. Of course, I don't like the comic either. I like the art on the comic. I think the story is good up until the last page. The last page totally ruined the story for me. But if anything could be worse than the comic book, the cartoon accomplishes that by creating an affair between Batgirl and Batman. Tell me that's not just a wee bit creepy, okay? There is a sizable, although the comics have kind of caught Barbara up, there's still a good enough age difference between Bruce and Barbara that the idea of them having it on a roof somewhere is creepy AF. You know what I'm saying? And that's by my standards. When I'm calling something creepy and inappropriate, it's bad. Anyway, Cindy Cap says, just as fascinating as Clint Eastwood. I love your segue there. Well, as soon as I Fez, but anyway, please check out my work at Smashwords. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Cindy. You're the best. And Sarah says, I just found out the Zodiac Killer inspired Dirty Harry with Clint Eastwood. Yeah, just a bit of info I found interesting. Now I want to watch it again. Yeah, I remember seeing that at the time. The Zodiac Killer was a huge influence. Oh, another good movie of Clint Eastwood. Play Misty for Me. That is a movie that from like the 70s and 80s, disc jockeys hated that film because it scared them, because a number of them had stories like that. And it's about a woman, Jessica Walter, who I adore, basically becoming disc jockey Clint Eastwood's stalker. Fantastic film. I grew up with John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, and Chuck Norris, says Meredith Lawgren. One on the must-watch list is also Warriors, Spaceballs, The Dark Crystal. Yeah, I'd agree with all of those. In fact, I would say just about all of the Mel Brooks movies. In fact, I think Carl posted this morning, it was a great meme about taking out anything racist from Blazing Saddles. And the movie will now be showing on Netflix from 8 p.m. to 8:07 p.m. But the thing, there's a difference between that and, say, Green Mansions from 1948, in that the racism was pointed out because racism is bad. And Mel Brooks was pointing out that racism is not just bad, it's really damn stupid. But yeah, Blazing Saddles is one of the funniest movies ever made. I would put that out there. I'd also say either version of The Producers, if you're looking at Mel Brooks stuff, or Young Frankenstein, that has got to be one everybody's got to watch. And let's see, who else we got here that I have not said hello to? Mona Johnson, hope to see you in Perryville in less than a month, you and your honey. Randall Eck, glad to see you here as always. And David E. Laker. David, good to see you, brother. Dave, I've still got your comics. Found a couple extra I'm going to toss in too. And also, Cookie is now helping me edit Santa Stein audiobook. So we're making progress finally. I'm way overcommitted. Anyway, glad to have all of you here. Hope your Monday is going well, everyone. Kathy Jackson says, speaking of great movies, if you don't mind reading subtitles, check out I Am Dragon. And it's on Amazon.com. I've had the movie on repeat every night for about 3 weeks. It's a beautiful movie. I've heard of that. I've not seen it. I would take it on your recommendation, though. Yeah, I like that. But you talk about subtitles. Another movie I loved back in the day was La Cage aux Folles, which the American version has Gene Hackman and Robin Williams, and it's called The Birdcage. The original is so much funnier. It really is. It is. And if you ever get a chance to see the play La Cage aux Folles, go see it. The music is brilliant, and it is positive affirmation. And I was in a production of it, and I was just so privileged to be in that thing. It was the last stage play I did as an actor in Danville, and I'm thinking, man, I don't know how I can go out on a higher note than this. But anyway, I will check that out, Kathy. Thank you, sweetie. And there we go. And I also thank you, Kathy, for being on Clever Title Pending last week. You were amazing. You were fantastic. I loved having you there. And sometime we got to get you, we're going to get you and Matt on solo. I believe Matt, her husband, who is a designer and cosplayer, will be on Clever Title Pending on Tuesday, July 21st. So mark your calendars. Kathy and Matthew Jackson, the Mad Keld himself, will be on the Tuesday night show. So please check it out. And Bill Sartin says, if you like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you need to watch the sequel for a few dollars more. Lee Van Cleef was excellent in it. Yeah, Lee Van Cleef, forgot about him. Definitely watch that film. Definitely watch those. Those were fun. You talk about fun. Talk about, the Westerns of that time. I liked a series called Trinity with, I want to say Terrence Stamp, but I know that's not right. But he's like the fastest draw in the West, and there's kind of like this dark humor to him. And there's this beautiful sequence. There's like a trio of them. Of course, it's Trinity, right? And the first one is like they call him Trinity, and then the other one is like they still call him Trinity. I don't remember what the third one was, but there's this beautiful sequence I remember where Trinity's standing at the bar beside this guy, and Trinity, like super speed, pulls out the gun, then puts it back, slaps the guy in the face. Then as the guy starts to reach for his gun, Trinity reaches for his gun, puts it in the guy's face before the guy can even pull it out of his holster. So he puts the thing back. Trinity puts the gun back in his thing, slaps him across the face again, puts his gun back in the holster, and the guy's reaching for his gun. Trinity's got his gun up in the face again. It's funny. It's wonderful slapstick. I love that thing. And all the classical musicals, West Side Story, The Sound of Music, My Fair Ladies. Thank you, Meredith Lawgren. Oh, I love those. I seriously love those films. I miss musicals. Really good musicals. And Repo the Genetic Opera is a great musical. Sarah, I've got to agree. There's another one I would love to see. I've only got the soundtrack for it, but the music is amazing. It's called Title of Show, and that's the name of it. It was one of the inspirations for our Tuesday night thing. But it's called Title of Show, and it's about two guys writing a play about two guys writing a play. And the music is amazing. And the closing number is a song, something to the effect of, I'd rather be 8 people's number 1 act than 800 people's number 8 act or something like that. It's a wonderful song. Great stuff. For a few dollars more was before GBNU. Lee Van Cleef's character died in GBU. Don't ruin it for him, John. He may fall in love with the character. You never know. And funny thing is, even though I've never seen them, I still know that they were a trilogy. Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more in GBU. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot that was a trilogy too. So I'm in the same boat. Of course, I almost forgot part of Princess Bride, and I've got to catch up here. Holy cats. And Cindy Camp, I had a parent who whistled part of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. She also said Howdy Pilgrim. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I love that. And Sarah, for horror lovers, I highly suggest watching Repo the Genetic Opera. You will not be disappointed. I've heard of that. I've not seen that. I heard it is brilliant. I don't think I've had a chance to watch it. I don't remember it coming to Champaign, although wait a second, maybe Parkland did it, but I've not seen that. I would love to see that. Harley Slavic, do you know if Luke is looking for someone to handle licensing and or merchandising for the titles? I'd like to release VHS versions of the comics y'all are doing. Do not know specifically, but you might contact Luke or Meredith about that. I'm speaking on behalf of the group, which Meredith probably went pale at the thought of it. I'd say we would not be averse to it. All right, so please put together a proposal and contact Luke and or Meredith, okay? Christian Basil says someone needs to make Brian licking spines a GIF now. Do it. I'd run it. In fact, we could do something. I could maybe throw me a couple dollars and I will lick your book on the air, and throw me a few more and I won't. Anyway, Cindy Camp, oh darn, out of break. Sign up for Rising Tides newsletter. You'll be highly amused. Yes, you will. And also then when you're done doing that, go to ckoepp.com and sign up for Cindy's, because she's even more awesome than I am. And Carl Wisman, it's an old man show and Brian is giving Rick directions on which road to drive to a con on the show. No, it just shows how many roads I've traveled in Illinois that I can name them and practically name the exit, okay? Like 190 for Silcon. Anyway, Harley Slavic, my acting page is right there, HSA Actor on Facebook, and bring Cookie home. Keep Cookie home. Thank you, Robert Beatty. Always appreciate it, brother. And Trixie Goes Downtown, says John B. Pica. It's available on Patreon. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. And we're not going to read that first part, Bill. That's getting old. You actually, Bill, the thing is, more effective advertising is, really condensed because of people's attention span. So quit bitching that you can't cover up my face anymore. So there. Anyway, be one of the far out and groovy people by clicking on Facebook Star976 and check out my high-flying classic cartoon character themed warm-up sketch today. Who can it be? The only way to find this out and any of the other wacky wonders is by checking out the artwork of Bill Sartin, where everything old is new again. You got to go there. He's an incredibly entertaining guy. And Bill, it's good talking to you Friday night for all my complaining. So anyway, quit complaining about the condensed ad copy or I'll stop reading it, okay? We know you want to fill up the screen. It ain't happening anymore, all right? It can't because StreamYard will not allow it. And in fact, it will cut off your message, which is why I want you to keep it short, all right? And you just never know when the tongue will come out, says Sarah. Anyway, Carl Winsman drank. He tongue drank. And drank. And John B. Pica. My nose itches, but not John's. I recently had a creative friend chastise me for self-promoting my work so much. He said your work should speak for itself. Thoughts, asked John B. Pica. Tell your friend to drop dead. No, seriously. The way things are now, and I've said this before, John, that one of the reasons I encourage promotion on this show, including Bill Sartin's impossibly long tongue-tying rants about his own page, for God's sake. You'd be nothing without us. You know that, Nevermore. It's nothing. But anyway, no, we love you, Bill. We love you. But no, I disagree vehemently with that. The work should speak for itself, but you gotta let people know the work is out there. And with so many people clamoring to promote their own work, and with so many sites like Facebook, like Instagram, like Amazon that are turning into pay for play, you've got to do something to make your work known. And the thing is, sometimes it doesn't happen on the first take, especially when people don't know about you. So you've got to push your message with, without going into the area of spam, of course, but excuse me, but excuse me, I'll wash that hand later, I promise. Anyway, but no, there's a lot of noise out there and you've got to get that signal out through it somehow. So if your friend doesn't approve of you self-promoting your work, get a better friend. Seriously, my friends are grateful when they see me promoting. because they know I'm trying to set an example for a lot of people like you. And your friends will support you promoting yourself as long as you aren't annoying about it. But the thing is, you've got to do it, and just tell him this is a part of my business. This is this, the Impossibilists, my Patreon, my comic books, my comic books. They're all a part of my business. And as my friend, I'm not asking you to purchase them. I'm not asking you to support me financially, but I do want you to respect the fact that I am promoting myself because I believe in my product. And I believe in the people that are helping me produce it. And if you're tired of reading it, then scroll on by, because I'm going to keep doing it because I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in my mission, and I want people to know what I'm doing. So I hope I've helped, John, but I welcome anyone else's comments on this too. I'd like to see more. Michaela J says, I can't wait for Perryville. I'm so excited. I am too. And there's going to be hugs abounding, I'm sure. Any tips you can give on publishing on Amazon Kindle the right way and how much you make, says Philip Thompson. Philip, I do not disclose how much I make on Amazon. I do okay, but I don't disclose anyone else's dollar figure either. And some people have told me. I didn't ask, but they told me anyway. But it's none of my business. How much you make depends on a lot of factors, Philip, and one is to have a good quality cover, because that's the first thing people are going to see. Write good copy so that people will they'll look at your blurb and say, hey, I want to read that. And just basically put out a superior product. That's the best thing you could do. And if you have any questions, the best thing to do is, even on Kindle, on KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, where you're going to have to upload your book, they have a number of videos that tell you how to do it. Follow that process. And if they don't give you the satisfaction, then go to YouTube and ask, how do I format this book? How do I do this in Kindle? And there are a number of people, such as Self-Publishing with Dale on YouTube, book launchers on YouTube. Shout out to my friend Julie Broad on there. And Jenna Morisi. There are a number of people that, even though they're talking about maybe nonfiction or romance or fantasy, the same rules apply if you're publishing your cartoon book on Kindle. But, just follow those instructions and you're going to be all right, because you got the talent to go with it. Carl Wisdom, Michaela, will you be at Silicon in September? That's what everyone wants to know. And Superman Smashes the Klan came out recently, says John B. Pica. Yeah, that was a terrific book. I really enjoyed that. And it's written by Gene Luen, who wrote one of the best Superman tie-ins I've read in years, called New Superman. And it was about the Chinese government has gotten a hold of some of Superman's DNA, and they used it and other things to create their own version of the Justice League of America. And it was a great, great book. I'm really sorry it didn't get an audience, or at least enough of an audience. Meredith Longren has a little icon there with a tongue. Oh, Meredith, how I've longed for those words. Perfection, says Sarah to Meredith. That's right. Everybody show Brian your tongue, right? Anyway, Rick Bradley, Green Arrow would definitely be marching with the protesters. Oh, yeah. But the minute somebody lobs a brick through somebody's storefront, the boxing glove arrow is coming out. Nick Tucker says, however, the heroes intervene, they would be slaughtered by J. Jonah Jameson. There is no winning. See, yeah, that's it. It doesn't matter, because if you're seen with the protesters, however peacefully, you're a flaming commie liberal bedwetter. If you are even caught on the scene with the rioters, then all of a sudden you're in the pocket of the Gestapo / police, which of course I don't believe. Of course, there are some bad apples that are showing themselves, and I hope the book gets tossed at them. But the majority of police that I've encountered have been great people, seriously. And I feel good here in Lafayette, having met a lot of the police here. They're badass, actually. So anyway, however you may feel about it, and we don't want to get into that discussion this morning. But yeah, I agree. And if it wasn't Jonah Jameson, it would be the Daily Star because they've become a rag ever since Clark Kent left. You know what I'm saying? And especially since Superman just revealed his dual identity to the world, and they're kind of a little peeved now that he didn't do it for them. So now they've got Cat Grant going after them, and Cat's got an axe to grind against the Daily Planet. Sorry to say. Anyway, Robert Beatty, they would be crucified right now. The world doesn't want heroes. They would rather see the world burn. So many people are like that, unfortunately. I think you're right, Robert. Sarah says, well, if no spine licking, we can always do impressions of dinos. Tiny R's, like I did on Carl's live group, which more of us were there. It was hilarious. It was great. And we might not, some of our behavior that night, Sarah, we might not want a surplus of witnesses, if you know what I'm saying. It will happen again, promises Carl. That's a promise or a threat. You can't promise me like that. And Bill Sargent, dare we ask, what would Batman do concerning the protest riots? They'd all crap their pants and run because he's freaking Batman. Yes! Now that's the answer. He would drop down right in the middle, or the Hulk, either one, drop down right in the middle of them. Protest is over. Everyone goes home and locks their doors and puts a cinder block up behind the doorknob. So anyway, that would work. That's it. More communities should hire the Hulk to come in. In fact, that was one of the titles I liked. I hadn't read Hulk for a couple of years before Immortal Hulk, and I started hearing how good a title it was. But I was reading one. I want to say it was The Astonishing Hulk or something like that. But it was a year's worth of comics written by Mark Waid. And the hook for that one was that Bruce Banner was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. And in exchange for using S.H.I.E.L.D.'s technology and their facilities and their lab people, he promised them, tell you what, let me work for you. And then when you have a problem that needs brute strength and destruction, just drop me in the middle of it. I'll turn into the Hulk. And the idea, the key was Banner builds, Hulk smashes. It was a really good book. I enjoyed it. Of course, I like Mark Waid's writing. Christian Basil says the heroes wouldn't interfere with the protesters. They'd interfere with the rioters. Yeah, thank you. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but even this J-off cop gets due process. George Takei has said that when he was locked up in the internment camps, he didn't get due process. The cop gets due process. But when he is found guilty, throw the book, the Mack truck, and the jail itself at him. Christian, I'm 100% behind that. I really am. And that's the thing. I believe that politicians and law enforcement, we should hold them to a higher standard than we do, that many of us do. And when they cross the line, I think the penalty should be far greater than a regular civilian, if you will. I agree with that completely, because they, all of them have been given much and there should be more to take away. But that's my hardcore opinion on it. Nick, as it is just after Father's Day, this is a link to one of my all-time favorite Batman comics. Oh, I got to check that out later. And Michaela isn't sure she can make it to Silicon. Sad face. I hope you can. But Sarah's going to be there, and she looks forward to it. And Meredith says, Christian, I have an erotica published. Wiggles eyebrows. I'm with you, girl. I want to read that. Dinosaur Man says, Eric Hawkins, you should check out the work he is doing on another book. I am not sure he has made it public, but it is a book about a real wrestler. Yes, I've seen some of the art on it, and because I think he's shown it at least a little bit on one of Rob Anderson's shows, and I'm like, and I know which one it is, and I'm not going to announce it. So, which is odd because I think he said several times on Rob's shows what it is. I just don't feel right about that. Anyway, Nick Tucker says, I expect new heroes to be drawn from this time. I would too, and I hope it's something better than what we've gotten in New Warriors from what I hear. And Brian says, Meredith Logren, when you visit the Terraform Comics page and try to share out that Tampa Bay post, make sure you change the user your personal account. You might be defaulting to the page ID. Okay, all right. Oh, that might be it. That might be okay. Yeah, okay. But that's kind of funny. I would think as admin, I'd have more right to share than I would as Brian. Okay, I'll try that. Thank you, Meredith. I appreciate that. I can't keep up with Facebook changes. Rick Bradley being crucified by the public would not be anything new to them, especially Spider-Man. That's just another day for him. That's true. That's true. Oh, look at that. And a cursed web slinger. He's thrown webbing after all everybody and kept him in place for an hour. What's open, says Harley Slavic. The movie house cinema will show G and PG movies as there needs to be a theater for kids, not just kid-themed rooms. We also found a solution to the $100 million projector problem. Well, good for you. I almost think I shouldn't ask what it is. I'm sure it's not like robbery, but maybe crowdfunding or something. Well, good. Congratulations. I'm glad you overcame that. Robert Beatty, I'm all for peaceful protests, but when you use children for your agenda, I have no respect for you. You want to protest, by all means, go for it, but when you bring kids into it, you're defeating the purpose. Teach your kids to love, not hate. I agree, especially that last part, Robert. You nailed it there. And Mandy Patanka, thank you, Carly. I just had a brain fart for a moment. I had an fart, except mine does forget. And my dad, says Harley Slavic, introduced me to most of the movies I am into, Unforgiven being one of my favorite movies. I don't think my father actually introduced me to any movies. I don't think. I can't think of a single one. Of course, my relationship with my father was a strained one, shall we say, and I'm not saying it was all his fault. Nick Tockard has more images for us. Please check them out. I'm sure they're wonderful. I can't do it right now. I'm running a show. Dang it. My wife likes Princess Bride, but I have never seen it, says Robert Beatty. I guess I will have to see it if I can find it. Oh, man, how do you avoid it? Seriously, I think I've seen it in the $5 bins at Walmart on DVD. Seriously, it's a beautiful movie. It really is. It's funny. It is so funny. And the sword fight alone in the opening is worth it. And the thing is, I'll tell you, Robert, if you watch the Antonio Banderas Zorro films, the same guy choreographed the sword fight in Princess Bride. It is brilliant. And it's got Andre the Giant. Okay, and Andre the Giant is a scene stealer throughout the whole film. He is freaking brilliant. He really is. And Christian Basil, coming soon to Pornhub. Dino Porn, the movie, written by Meredith Logren. Sarah, directed by Christian Basil, starring Brian K. Morris and the Morris Monster. You got the billing wrong on that one. I'm definitely second banana to the monster. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to see how the ladies put me through my paces. And Bill Sargent says, I never cared for Lord of the... Oh, excuse me. All right, got that straight. Bill Sargent, I never cared for Lord of the Rings except for the 70s animated movie, but I really liked Willow. It was Val Kilmer's best role, second only to his role as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. I like a lot. Yeah, I did like the cartoon. I appreciated the heck out of somebody trying to make a an epic film out of the Lord of the Rings. Talk about a thankless task. Although he got thanked financially, I'm sure Peter Jackson, but Peter Jackson did a great job. I thought I liked the animated film. I did enjoy that. But yeah, and Val Kilmer, I've liked him in just about everything I've seen him in. He's brilliant in Real Genius. I love him in Top Secret. That's a funny film. It's by the same people who brought you the Airplane films. And what else was I liked him in The Saint, although it was nothing like either the TV show with Roger Moore or the Son of the Saint, which was pretty much the same thing, or the books by Leslie Charteris. It stood well on its own, but it definitely was not the Saint I knew. And Cap said his piece, said Nick Tockard. I agree. What Batgirl needed was a young, strapping velociraptor to woo her heart, says Rick Bradley. Hey, who couldn't turn down a sexy, hot velociraptor? You know what I'm saying? I would pay to watch Barbara Gordon, do the certain Ted Nugent song with him, if you know what I mean. The second word is tango. And Eric Hawkins, I will have to say that Unforgiven is Eastwood's best movie with Gran Torino as a close second. Yeah, I would agree. Unforgiven is a fantastic film, and I liked Gran Torino a lot more than I thought I would. I knew I'd enjoy it on some level, but not as much as I thought I would. I genuinely enjoyed it. It was quite a thoughtful film. I liked it quite a bit. Carl Wisman, I think Bill Sargent posted the Blazing Saddles post. I just said that I was surprised that there was still 7 minutes of it left. Oh my God, yeah, it's like there was some stupid teen comedy movie around 2000, in the aughts with Tom Green, who I have, a certain amount of respect for, but not a whole lot. I think he's part of this new breed of comedian that announces they're funny and thinks everyone should laugh. I prefer mockery, but I remember the thing was they took out all the sex scenes, all the obscenities, and the movie was something like 3.5 minutes long. So that's a sad commentary on that film. David Atkins, better question for any comic and sci-fi fan. What would Kirk's answer to this group of people if it were a planet that the Federation were trying to make an appeasement with? What would Shatner say? Prime directive. Probably wouldn't interfere. Minimally interfere. Well, the thing is, he interfered all the time. It's a wonder, if somebody didn't bring him up on charges for violating the prime directive, because he did it continually. So anyway, Starfleet, just slap on the wrist. John B. Pica, during Mike Zeck's run on Captain America, classic run, gotta agree. Him and JMD Matisse, I believe. Captain America took a hard line on both neo-Nazis and Jewish Liberation Front terrorists. Both groups attacked. I recently reread those pages, and it's like reading something out of today's headlines. Cap has been, for much of his career, as much as I've read of him, pretty much a mirror of the time. Sometimes not so great, like during World War II and the Korean conflict. But a lot of them, especially since he came back in the 60s, he's been it's like holding up a mirror to society. And even the stuff he's doing now, I'm really, really intrigued with. I think it's great stuff. I love I Am Dragon, says Meredith Logren. Well, it's still a reptile. It's one of those stories where you don't need to know the language. It's so good. Oh, it's Russian. Oh, that might be fun. And I love The Birdcage, says Sarah. Sarah, you will love La Cage aux Folles even more. And if you ever get a chance to see the play is hilarious. Harvey Fierstein wrote the book, and I don't remember who did. It was somebody that had some real credits, did the music for it. The music is wonderful. Brilliant to sing. And David Atkins, for Clint, only one set of films work. Any Which Way You Can, Any Which Way But Loose. Love the grandma. Need to put her in office now. Oh, my God. Yeah, those are fun films. Not my favorite of Clint Eastwood's films. The man is versatile enough. He can do comedy very well. I still like his drama stuff. And Amy Hale, Terrence Hill. Thank you, Amy Hale. That's who I was trying to think of for the Trinity movies. Terrence Hill. I know it was one of the Terrences. I'm not sure it wasn't Stamp. Anyway, but Terrence Stamp is in one of my favorite films, Bowfinger, written and directed by Steve Martin. And I loved it because it came right about the time I sold my first stage play. And I could identify with that so much. And Eddie Murphy is brilliant in two different roles. Robert Beatty, okay, let's be fair. Blazing Saddles probably wouldn't make it past the opening credits. Probably not. But you got to have that Frankie Lane song, period. Frankie Lane was brilliant. I miss those types of movies in comedy where they were okay with making fun of themselves. For Pete's sake, can we stop being offended by everything, especially pancake mix, for love of God? You have something against pancake mix, why you little... Anyway, no, I agree. We need to grow the hell up and get a little bit of armor on our emotions, I think. Lee Van Cleef's best role was the Master. Yes, Eric Hawkins. I was waiting to see if somebody would mention that. That was a great show. Although you always knew when, who was it, Kai Shikogi, I think it was in the action scenes, because Lee would put that ninja mask on and suddenly he could move like greased lightning, so you knew it was his stand-in. Yes, I am not kidding. He had a ninja series on TV. Yeah, who was it? Vince Van Patten? Wasn't he the companion on that? The guy who gave us the robot, the bionic dog? I remember that. I remember The Master. I love that. That was a great show. David Atkins, only wish that Clint would have been a driver in Cannonball. That would have been epic with Jackie Chan in a famous fight never to forget or end. Miss movies like those. Cannonball Run was fun. And that was my first exposure to Jackie Chan. So later when I saw Rumble in the Bronx, it's like, oh yeah, I remember him. Oh yeah. That's good stuff. And Yul Brynner is great in Westerns. Harley Slavic, you're right. Yul Brynner was a really versatile actor. He wasn't just The King and Unforgiven was great, says John B. Pike. I gotta agree, brother. Terrence Hill, and I remember him as Super Fuzz, filmed in Florida, says Christian Basil. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Meredith Logren, here's a fun call to action. Wild One Forever is seeking confessions. I'm no priest or lawyer, so keep it legal, but your identity will remain anonymous if you want to submit a story. And I could fill a month if I just opened up my head out of the confessions I need to make, Meredith. But anyway, please check out that show and check out Wild One Forever. She does a great morning blog that will be a great way to start your day. I'm serious about that. I don't mention that enough, Meredith. We need to get on me about that. He said, get on me. All right. So anyway, yeah, we need to promote that show more, Meredith. I think a lot of people here, especially, especially my people, would enjoy Wild One Forever. Rick Bradley, 6 years ago today, I was watching Young Frankenstein, the musical on stage in Paducah. It was so good. Yeah, the play is really good. I saw a production of it. It was less than wonderful. They had apparently cast the thing at the last minute and had minimal rehearsals. So, like, some of the actors were actually in the last half of the play were actually on stage holding their scripts and reading from them. That was sad. And will do, Brian. Glad to hear it, Harley. And Harley Slavic has his YouTube link up there. Please put it up there. And Sarah says, yes, Silicon. I agree. And Terraform Comic Submissions info. There is the link to terraformcomics.com/submissions. So if you have an idea for a comic, especially if you have a team that's involved, please check it out and let us take a look at your stuff. All right. And Carl Wisman says, yes, Silicon. I agree. People will miss out if they don't go to Silicon. Just saying, says Sarah. I agree. Every year is fun, and there's going to be a lot of stuff really happening this year, and I've got swag for the first time. It'll be cool. Christian Basil, Facebook.com/The Traveling TARDIS, the Whovians' new home for podcasting. See our interviews we did live this past weekend with actor Colin Sproul and Nick Briggs, the voice of the Daleks and the head of Big Finish. Subscribe and be part of the legend. I caught part of the Nick Briggs interview. That was fantastic. You did a great job on that show. You really did. And Christian Basil, Sarah mentioned tongue, and I accidentally fainted from the fantasy. I bet you did. But it all depends on whose. Anyway, agreed. Get the word out for work being done. It's not something to be ashamed of. Of course not. If you're ashamed of it, keep working on it until you're not. The League of Impossibilists, says John B. Pike, are retro future time-traveling paranormal heroes defending the space-time continuum against the supernatural threats of the hordes of the Supreme Cut List. Patreon.com/Impossibilists. That's a sell for you. I love that. That's great, John. I'm halfway there. Rick Bradley, John, how are the sales of your creative friend? How well does their work speak for them? Oh, there we go. And David Atkins, any work you do will not speak no matter how much you bribe it, threaten it, or torture it. You can easily bribe others to speak for it. Fans will also, but no book or art will speak for itself. That's true. And Brian put out a superior product, Drank. That's what the Morris Monster is about. And Sarah agrees with David. Yeah, and July 19th, says Harley Slavic, we should have store shelves and displays shipped out to us. Once we get those set up, we should be open to do business via appointment. That is great. Good for you, Harley Slavic. David Atkins gets sick of the negative responses for those who get sick of seeing it. Buy the stock out if you are sick of seeing someone share their stuff. Buy it all to keep them shut up or just stop following. Yeah, tell your friend, if that's the tactic to use, then tell your friend about me. Tell them I promote like a $5 prostitute. Tell them I'm on the air all the time and I need to be silenced. Anyway, who do you think is the best comic book? I also need to find a niche. Philip Thompson. I think you have, judging from your cartoons already, Funny Animal is a good niche. Although it is niche, it's not one of the more prominent ones. But you could compare yourself to classic cartoons. Closest thing we have now is probably like Scooby-Doo or the Berenstain Bears, which are very popular. Best comic book. But the thing is, Philip, I've said this before, and I'll say it to you again. Don't imitate, innovate. Don't copy someone else, because by the time you get it done, the trend has moved on. Instead, Philip, be the trend. put out your original work and find your audience. I think that's the better thing to do than tell your audience to tell other people. All right. And Christian Basil says, marketing, or what I call cross-pollinating, is fun. I look for people to help promote amongst each other. Like you said, find friends who find your work awesome and vice versa to support each other. By the way, subscribe to the Traveling TARDIS on Facebook. And then he meant to mention the Traveling TARDIS on Facebook, or no, wait a second, he's not sure he said the Traveling TARDIS on Facebook. I meant support the Traveling TARDIS, really, facebook.com, the Traveling TARDIS. I agree. You should go to the Traveling TARDIS and support it on Facebook and wherever it happens to be. And the era of indie is here. Independent, next generation, diverse, endless entertainment. Thank you, Rob Anderson. And Batman would support the protests. He is anti-government. That's true. That's true. And he's kind of pro-cop, but not by much. Anyway, it depends on the cops. Rob Anderson, we did a show about that Comicsgate SJW, and you may very well have your mind changed watching this one, as even moderates showed up to speak on the state of comics. Not a versus show, but instead a conversation. Now, you see, that's the difference, Rob, between your show and so many of these other more painful ones I've seen. Your show was great. Your show was terrific. I did watch most of it. Got called away a lot. I need to watch the rest of it. But, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people on the far ends of the spectrum here have forgotten that what they're doing is performance art. Particularly on the Comicsgate side, where, because you don't have quite the organization on the other side, as you've told me, and I agree. But a lot of it is just like performance art gone to the extreme, to the almost comical, if not comic extreme. And Travis Bunch, good to see you, brother. Hope you're much love to you and the family. Hope you're doing well today, my friend. But yeah, I think it's almost like a parody of itself. David Atkins, many want revenge, not justice. That is a whole different process. Lynching is revenge, not justice. Justice is slow, but everyone deserves a chance to defend their point. Only matters to a few, it seems. No, I agree. I want these people who have done wrong to be thoroughly tried and thoroughly pay their debt to society. Seriously. Bill Sargent says, I think that Johnny Ringo's line in Tombstone said it best, considering the rioting, protesters looting, burning a monument / grave desecration. Eventus Sultonium Magister, the Latin translate being events are the teachers of fools. But there's also, if we forget the past, we are doomed to repeat it. Christian Basil, I'll be with Meredith at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, licking spines all day at her booth. Sarah, you're welcome to come. We're gonna start COVID-69. Oh my God! If only I could be there. I'm gonna be the only Terraform person not at Tampa. That makes me sad. John B. Pica, Princess Bride is on every streaming platform there is. I wouldn't doubt it. Pornhub, what is that? Sounds interesting. It's a new type of bicycle spoke, Eric Hawkins, and if you are into bicycles, then I would definitely recommend you check it out. There's a lot of interesting videos on there. In fact, there might be people you recognize on there. At least that's what I'm banking on. John B. Pica says, my sword fighting friends consider the fight in The Princess Bride to be the best ever film. John, I'm 100% with you. I remember watching it in the theater when it came out, and I was totally mesmerized by that. And I've probably seen that sequence more than any other, just watching it back and forth. Go ahead and drink. John B. Pike, a real genius, was pure genius. The Val Kilmer, The Saint, was a 2-hour showcase for Val Kilmer's character acting ability. I agree. Like I said, it wasn't the Leslie Charteris character, but it was very entertaining. It was a really good film, and I think it could have been marketed a little better. Maybe if they started a fresh character, not called it The Saint. That would have been my thing. Although it did have Roger Moore in it as the announcer at the end. That was good. For those not easily offended, definitely check out Demon Bitch by Christy Shin. Less than 40 hours left on her Kickstarter. Can we give that bitch a boost? You sure can. Check it out. I've looked at that. That is a fun-looking comic book. Christy's got a wacky sense of humor, and I really enjoyed her video. Went on a little long in places, but it was funny. It was genuinely dark and funny, and I enjoyed that a lot. And Sho Kasugi, thank you, John B. Pica. Appreciate that. It's been like 40 years since I've had to think of that name, so I'm allowed this one. I'm not counting that as a brain fart. Christian Basil, watch Blazing Saddles. Get a backbone. Do it for Randolph Scott. Randolph Scott would approve. He allowed himself to be sung by the Oak Ridge Boys. You would approve too. And Harley Sivak heading out. Take care. You too, Harley. Have a great day, my friend. Robert Beatty, who would have thought that after feeding Generation and making full bellies, Aunt Jemima is now racist? What's next, Big Bird? Big Bird's probably safe for the moment. Well, notice I said for the moment. Just wait till birds start unionizing, and starting taking this bird oppression to the next level. Anyway, Sho Kasugi says Bill Sargent was also stunt coordinator in the Master TV series, let alone starring in it, but I loved him in the movie Enter the Ninja. That's true. I agree. That was a good movie. I forgot about that. I saw Young Frankenstein the musical in St. Louis about 8 years ago. It was fantastic, says Eric Hawkins. I agree. It's a great play. I just saw a lesser production of it, but it was still a good play. I still enjoyed watching it as it was. Oh, I will be posting new art today at deviantart.com/Nick T, says Nick Talker. You must check it out. John B. Pica, last Friday I did a discussion about my 40-year creative path to get where I am today now. Some of you might find it interesting, so check it out on Facebook there. Give it a watch. Amy Hale says, I wonder if Terraform Comics would be interested in an unusual superhero and his friends. Well, you already have a friend on the editorial, at least one friend on the editorial board. You never know. You know what I'm saying. Carl Wisman says, well, must go. Got to have early lunch and do some work this afternoon. Well, Carl, thank you for being here. You and Donna have a fantastic afternoon. Appreciate you being here. Philip Thompson says, I didn't mean copying someone's work. I meant the keywords on Amazon Kindle. The keywords should come from the work you present. So if you were to say you do a horror book that was in the vein of Stephen King, you might put reads Stephen King as part of your keywords if it's allowed, because Amazon changes their standards every now and then. But the keyword should reflect your work. And Mark Rienzo says, please stop tagging me in these. Wasn't me, Mark. You need to talk to Meredith. She was trying to promote your work, and we just got you in front of a few hundred extra people now. So, but if you want us to no longer talk about your work, we can make that happen. Carlene, later all. Donna, you have a great day, okay? Glad to have you here, as always. So, let's see, what else? And we caught up with the comments. Yay, and it took us less than 2 hours this time. We're doing good. All right. So anyway, let's see. And, we got some other emails there. That's what was happening. So while we got that going on, let's take a little pause here. Let me get that. There we go. That's what we want to talk about. Something cheerful for a Monday. All right, there we go. Okay, and back to your comments. And Rick Bradley says, everyone take care and be creative. Well, everyone's abandoning me, so I guess I better close out this show. All right. So anyway, we are going to do that. Thank you to everyone who has been here this morning. Hope you all have a great rest of your Monday. Don't forget programming notes. Check out the OnCon page, also the Comic Advocates page. Let's see. I've got the wrong promo thing here. There we go. The Comic Book Advocates. I keep a little thing just in case I have a senile moment here. But anyway, Comic Book Advocates channel on YouTube and on Facebook. Also, don't forget the OnCon Network. There'll be something on later today around 4:00, so Eastern time. Please check it out. And we'll not have a show, of course, tomorrow. Nevermind the Furthermore. But we will have a clever title pending tomorrow night at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to have the great novelists, note the plural there, Bobby Nash and Charles F. Milhouse will join me tomorrow for a talk about writing series books. And we want your questions to to build your store of knowledge. These two guys are really terrific guys, amazing writers. I'm in awe of them both. So check out bobbynash.com as well as Stormgate Press. Have you here? And here we go. Everybody take care and stay creative. We got that. And Christian Basil, take a little pause. Brian's got to pee. Nope, doing it right now while you ask. And must go. Starting to sweat. Everyone stay safe and cool. David, you and your lady take care of yourselves, all right? Hope you get that fixed today. That music sounds like 70s jungle porn. How would you know what jungle porn sounds like from the 70s unless? Anyway, follow the Advocating Network, says Rob Anderson. Channel on YouTube and begin your education on creating comics with over 100 panels. Watch Kickstarter Pause and keep up with Comic Book Newswire. And I think with the next episode of Newswire is what, today or Tuesday, I believe? Anyway, check it out. There's a lot of good stuff going on the Advocating Network. And Rick Bradley, we know you got 1,000,001 things to do, Brian. Well, actually, it's only about a million. Just 1 million even today, because we did get a couple things done over the weekend. So anyway, thank you all for your being here. Thank you all for supporting this show, and we will see you. If we don't see you tomorrow night on I just noticed I have subtitles on here. I didn't put those up there. I better check that out. That may be dangerous. Anyway, good thing I've been working on my diction. So anyway, we hope you have a fantastic Monday. There's still plenty of it left. We hope you get some great things done, and everyone have a great day. Mwah, Kathy, same to you, darling. Hope you have a great day as well. And so, folks, we're going to close out the show today. Don't forget, folks, risingtide.pub on Facebook. We appreciate your patronage. Also, don't forget risingtide.pub, our website, where you can sign up for my monthly free newsletter. And the next issue will go out July 1st, and we'll start writing that in the next few days. Also, don't forget our YouTube channel, which is, let me get over to there. We would love it if you subscribe. It's at YouTube. Look for Camouflage 61821 or do a search for Brian K. Morris, and you will find me there. We also put up recent episodes of Clever Title Pending and Nevermind the Furthermore. So if you missed an episode, check it out, because you'll get to see some entertaining things there. It's cool. And let me get to my overlay there. There we go. And that's about all we've got. So, folks, we hope you have a fantastic Monday, and we will see you Wednesday morning on another Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Central Time with myself, Brian K. Morris. And we hope you have a creative and wonderful day. And don't forget, as always, folks, stay smart, stay safe, wash your damn hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready? Ready!
Thank you for tuning in to Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Publications and Brian K. Morris production. Member of the Comic Book Advocating Network and sponsored by GeekInsider.com. Become part of our show with sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For details, contact advertising at GeekInsider.com or visit podcast.geekinsider.com. The Geek Insider podcast is available on your favorite app, so please hit the follow button and share it out to your friends, because if you don't, you might have to turn in your geek card.